This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp. We may be a comic duo, but we take mental health very serious. BetterHelp is the world's largest therapy service and is completely online. BetterHelp is a network with over 30,000 licensed and experienced therapists who can help you with a wide range of issues. To get started, answer a few questions, and BetterHelp can match you with the right therapist from their network.
You can message your therapist at any time and schedule live sessions when it's convenient for you. If your therapist isn't the right fit for any reason, you can switch to a new therapist at no additional charge. With BetterHelp, you get the same professionalism and quality you expect from in-office therapy, but with a therapist who is custom-picked for you, more scheduling flexibility, and at a more affordable price. Get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/amp. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/amp.
Every single day, it's an addiction. I go to Starbucks or to one of the coffee shops around here, and I get a vanilla sweet cream cold brew. And for some reason, every time I walk up to the counter, I cannot say that. It comes out as, I'm going to get a cold brew with vanilla, with the sweet cream. I don't know why I can't say it the way that I just said it. Vanilla, sweet cream, cold brew. I say it in my mind on my way there because I really like it. I used to be a cinnamon dolce fan, or dulce, however you say it. But now I do the vanilla sweet cream cold brew. I cannot say it. I don't know why. I completely messed it up this morning. I walked up and I said, I'm looking and I couldn't see the picture. I couldn't see the words. And I'm like, oh my gosh, how do I even, I'm such a goof. It just never, I can never say it. But anyways, enough about me. Let's talk about continuing on with your dreams and doing what you're doing that makes you happy. You need a support system. You need self-esteem for all this. But listen, when you are in the middle of something, when you are at a level where you may feel stuck, but you already took the steps to pursue a dream, it may feel like it's never going to happen. But let me reassure you, if you keep working for it, it is going to happen. So let's talk about that. So just a couple days ago, I released, if you want it to happen, if you want to make it happen, it will. The answer is always yes, right? The opportunity is always there. The next level is always there, especially if you want it bad enough. When you pursue a dream, first and foremost, it's essential to remember that your dreams are worth pursuing. So I had this happen a couple years ago. I was telling a few people, this is what I wanted. I'm going to start writing a book. I want to write about my life. I want people to be able to understand that they're not alone. I want to be the solution. And I got a lot of blank stares. Like, who do you think you are to write a book? And I did it. I just did it. New Year's of 2024, this year, as I'm recording this, I uploaded my book, my manuscript, and I let it fly. And there were a few tears and there was some anxiety. Obviously, the book is called Anxiety Makes Me Poop. And there was definitely just some stress about it because I was putting myself out into the world, into the atmosphere for people to judge. The response was so good. I've gotten one bad review that was said it's not worth it, but I'm happy that person couldn't relate. Honestly, I'm happy that they could not relate. And before I even start talking about pursuing your dreams and maybe, just some encouragement here, it's funny because I organically put this out there. I just like to talk. So I organically put this out here. I don't promote it. I don't advertise it. And somehow people find it. And I feel like the people that find it are the ones that may have needed it that week or want to relate to me or want to write me back or Snapchat me or text me or email me, meredithanncoaching@gmail.com, by the way. And it's just so uplifting to hear someone write back and say, hey, can you talk about this? Or, wow, this episode was phenomenal. Or, thank you, I can relate. Or, what do you think about this? And they give me examples of what they're going through. And we just chat, friendly chat. Here's what I think. I'm not a professional in anything or everything. But I think sometimes people just want to know that someone else has gone through something and they can share it with you and say, wow, this hit hard. Thanks so much. This super just kicked me in the butt. I appreciate it. And it makes me feel so good. I've always wanted to be the solution. I just didn't know how I was going to do it. Now I have books and podcasts. And I'm trying to get better every single day. I was not good years ago. And if you knew me years ago, it was rough. I focused on the wrong things. It was a downward spiral. So all the work that I've done and everything that I've been through, I'm just here to share it organically so that it finds the right people. I just feel like if I put it out there, it'll find the right people and the right people can relate and hopefully learn maybe a little something or just feel supportive or whatever. With that being said, pursuing your dreams. First and foremost, it's essential to remember that your dreams are worth pursuing. You are worth it. Whether it's a career goal, personal project, creative endeavor, staying committed to your dreams can bring immense satisfaction and joy. The journey is going to be tough. Might be tough. It was definitely tough for me. I remember telling people, hey, yeah, I'm going to write a book or I'm going to do this. And you could just see the blank stares like, what? Like they couldn't either fathom it or just couldn't picture me doing it. Maybe because I wasn't very healthy years ago. That has all changed. Most of it, I would say 85% has changed. I've kind of done a 180 and I was able to get some stuff out there. Now I have children's books. It was not easy. There were a lot of tears. You can ask my husband. There were a lot of tears. There was a lot of self-doubt. There was a lot of like, I'm just not going to do it. Walking away from the computer. This is not going to happen. Taking breaks, taking days off from thinking about stuff. Like I mentioned in the episode before this, I'm creating a 30-day checklist for those that are working with a difficult coworker and how to just kind of reset your mind on that. And it's so good. I just can't completely develop it yet. And I'm the kind of person that I don't just talk about something because I've learned it. I talk about it because I've experienced it. And I think that's what makes the difference here. If I'm telling you something, it's because I've been through it. So I just want to share my knowledge and what I've learned. And you go from there. You can make it even greater, even better than that. I'm just kind of bringing in my experience. And that's what I'm doing with the 30-day checklist. Bringing in what I went through and what I did. And then I just want to share that with everyone. And then you can go on and do whatever you want to make yourself better because we're all unique. So one thing might not work for another person, or maybe something will work and then you can add on to it. So anyways, the journey is going to be tough. There might be obstacles. Like I was just mentioning, I have to walk away sometimes because I just can't bring it. I can't develop it all the way. But each step forward is a step towards a more fulfilling life. It truly is, and I believe that. Don't let fear or doubt stop you from chasing what you truly want. Just don't. Don't doubt yourself. If you have a vision, if you have a dream, run with it. Go for it. Do not, I think they call it the imposter syndrome. Do not look at someone else and say, like, we know someone else did a 30-day checklist of working with a bad manager or coworker or anything like that. We know that there's so many other resources out there, but it's mine. It's mine, or it's yours. It's your idea. It's your vision. It's how you want to speak on it. So don't let fear or doubt stop you from chasing what you truly want. Your happiness matters. Happiness is not just a destination, it's a journey. It's an adventure. Doing what makes you happy should be a priority in your life. And that's every day. Think of one thing that makes you happy every day. It should be a priority in your life. When you engage in activities that bring you joy and fulfillment, you are more than likely to feel energized, motivated, happy, those around you. I mean, what is that phrase? If mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. Right? It's true. If you're not happy, or if you're a dad that's not happy, or if you're a spouse that's not happy, or a sibling that's not happy, or a child that's not happy, do what makes you happy. Because at the end, it's all about you and your healthiness. Because the healthier that you are, the more that you love yourself, the more that you can give to others. It's okay to prioritize. I'm giving you permission right now. It's okay to prioritize your happiness and make choices that align with your passions and interests. If someone says you're being selfish, tell them, nope, Meredith says I can prioritize my happiness. if you're listening to this, you are someone, I feel that you are someone that gives a lot to a lot of people, and you're probably just trying to remember how to find you again and your next step and your dream. And that's okay. I'm giving you permission to prioritize it. Okay, don't really blame me if it starts a fight though. How about having a support system? Having a strong support system is crucial when you're pursuing your dreams. If you don't have that, find it. Surround yourself with people who believe in you, people that encourage you, people that provide the emotional support that you need. Friends, family, mentors. If you don't have that, maybe online communities. So I kind of do something a little bit unique where my friends are like, I'm so proud of you. This is amazing. But they don't understand the classes that I took. So I have an online community of other people that have taken the classes, and they might be coaches or there's therapists in there. And so we all communicate and have that support with valuable insights and advice and a little bit of encouragement. So if you don't have friends, families, mentors, I hope you do. But if not, there's a lot of online resources for you. There's a lot of online communities that can offer all of those things. You just got to find the right one though. So when I first published my book, I wanted to get into I wanted to keep writing, and I wanted to get into some author communities, online communities. I actually have a couple friends that are writing as well, and it's amazing. Actually, my cousin just put out a book too. I'm so proud of her. I'm so happy for her. It's a beautiful book. But when I first started writing, and I felt that I get to say I'm an author, I joined about 4 or 5 author online communities, and I actually have gotten out of all of them. I felt like authors that might have been a little more popular than other authors would undermine those that were starting, or it wasn't positive. I'll just say that. It was not positive. I felt like it was always about, well, I'm going to teach you something. I'm going to teach you something. When the person really wasn't asked to be taught something, they were just asking maybe for some advice, or can you help me finish this sentence? Or what do you think about this? And they would just get, bashed, negative. I said, oh no, this is not my community. I did find a community though of authors that are just starting, that are popular, and it's amazing. I found my people just recently, in the past, I would say like 6 weeks or so, and I absolutely love it. It's beautiful. It's my kind of people. So it may take you 5 or 6 online communities or 5 or 6 family members or mentors or friends to get through. But when you feel that they are fully supportive, you have found your people. Building a network of supporting individuals can make the journey so much less daunting and so much more enjoyable. And that's just my experience. So let's talk about boosting your self-esteem. For me, this is number one. So self-esteem plays a significant role, in how I perceive or how we perceive our abilities and worth. As soon as I hit upload, as soon as I knew that my book was being published, my self-esteem took a hit. It took a hit. I was like, no one's going to like it. I'm going to get all bad reviews. My friends are going to be like, what are you thinking about? My family's going to be embarrassed. It didn't happen. That was on my own. So you have to boost your self-esteem. It's essential to cultivate a positive self-image and believe in your potential. Believe it. If you have the dream, believe in the potential that dream's going to come true. It just is. Manifest it. Throw it out there. Throw it out there into the universe. However you seek guidance, do it. Build your self-esteem. Celebrate your achievements no matter how small they may seem. How small? I wrote 1 page yesterday. I was like, perfect. Acknowledge your strengths and remind yourself of your capabilities. If you are someone that has a dream, you know that you have the capability. You just have to find it. You just have to find how you're going to make it happen. Find your strengths. Obviously, you had the strength to say, this is my dream and this is what I'm going to do. So now just keep your strength and find more strength and do your research and just let it. And don't rush it. I noticed that was with my children's book. So I get this idea. Well, I've had these ideas. I've had these poems since I was in grade school and high school. I've written so much stuff. I just always was a doodler. And I found a notebook, and that's why I was able to do this. And then I also had kids that are now young adults, and I was like, I'm going to write about their experience and and it was just really neat. And so I had it all, and I wanted to rush through every book. And I thought, no, step back, do some more research on how you're writing it. For example, my Matthew and Franny book is about two young friends that get to go golfing, and Franny is afraid of golf. Like, she's a little hesitant. She has a low self-esteem. And what it is Matthew's going to build her up and say, you're fine, keep trying. You're fine. And it builds her up. And at the end, the whole day was a lot of fun. It's great for young readers and for young kids. It's so cute. But it's all about boosting your self-esteem. And so when I was writing that, there was just a couple pages and a couple, I use Canva for most of my editing and for my my pictures and stuff, for editing my images, and I move things around and I, different colors and all that kind of stuff, and draw it all out and have it in my head. And it wasn't working. And I had a goal in mind. I was like, okay, I'm going to get this out on, the first of the month or whatever. I only had a few more days. It didn't happen. It didn't happen because in my mind, it wasn't perfect. So just wait on that. Like, you can set your goals, but if your mind is saying, ooh, it's not there yet, it's just not there, it's okay. It's okay to wait. I think I had to wait till the following week because I took a couple days, and then I took a couple days off, I should say. And then I looked at it again and thought, oh, you know what? I'm going to move this around, I'm going to do this. And then all of a sudden it was like, and there it is. So I was 1 week later from making my goal, but I accepted it. I was okay with it. It didn't hit my self-esteem like, oh, you said it was going to be done the 1st. Now you're putting it out on the 7th or the 8th. Or no, don't let that kind of stuff, don't let it take a hit to your self-esteem. Believe in yourself. You're more likely to take the risks. Embrace the challenges, just like I was mentioning, and persevere in the face of adversity. Right? So they might be bigger. You might have a huge goal. You got to do small steps to get to that goal maybe. Or if it just comes naturally to you, run with it. Oh my gosh, run with it. Lastly, keep going. Remember that persistence is key. There's going to be times when you feel discouraged or you face setbacks. It's important to keep going. It's really important to keep going. Every failure is a learning opportunity. I'm sure you've heard that. I am not repeating anything. I'm not saying anything that you don't know. This is just a reminder. Every challenge is a chance to grow. Stay committed to your dreams. Trust in your journey. Never lose sight of why you started in the first place. I'm going to say that again. Never lose sight of why you started in the first place. I wanted to empower young adults. I wanted to build self-esteem in kids. I was noticing that kids are getting anxiety at, the age of 5. And I'm hearing my friends that have young ones saying, oh, she was so nervous about this. I'm like, no, why is this happening? The world is changing. And so, anxiety is coming into younger ones. So I thought, I'm going to write children's books that empower, that encourage, that build self-esteem. And that's what I did. And they sell pretty good. I have one that's called The Kindness Club, and it's just all about paying it forward, and teachers love it. And so, but it was hard. It was hard for weeks and weeks. I'm like, that doesn't look right. That doesn't look right. But you know what? Persistence is key. I just kept going. And you know what? It may not be 100% perfect to someone else. To me, they were good enough to upload and publish, and off they went. I'm on to my next thing. And that's good for you too. Finish it. Feel like you're at 100%. Get it out there. And then you know what? You could go back and tweak if you want. If you're like all of a sudden, 2 a.m., if you're like me, you wake up at 2 a.m. and you're like, oh, you know what? I probably should have changed it. Yeah, then go change it. And then upload it again and put it out into the universe. So in addition to all of this, what could be some obstacles that are going to be stopping you from doing this? I'm not going to call them excuses because they're not excuses. They're obstacles, because if you're listening to this, you are someone that doesn't make excuses. You may just have some challenges. So I just wanted to talk through a couple things that may be obstacles, but you're going to get through them. So the first one is fear of failure. This was mine. These are all my notes. I'm reading from all my notes that has happened in the past couple years. Fear of failure. One of the most common obstacles for me and for others that I have read is the fear of failure. It just can be paralyzing, and it can prevent you from taking the necessary steps towards your goal. Don't allow it. Don't feel like there's any type of failure involved in your dream. Failure is a natural part of the learning process. Just embrace it. as an opportunity to grow and improve. I had so many failures these past few years, so many failures. I don't even know if we would have time for a 50-hour episode of all my failures. So embrace the opportunity to grow and improve with any type of failures that may happen, or just setbacks or obstacles or challenges, we'll call them. Reflect on what went wrong, make the adjustments, try again, and then just keep moving forward. You fail a test, go study a little bit more. Remember what was on the test, maybe the ones that you missed, the questions that you missed. Go study a little bit more and then go take that test again. Or read up on something. Or maybe, I just had a friend tell me that they're taking a class at a community college here and they just don't understand the teacher. It's a math class, and the way that the teacher teaches, it's not how they can perceive it. They can't ingest what the teacher is saying. So they went to their counselor and said, listen, this teacher's phenomenal. They are so good, but they're just not my style. So last week they moved her into the same math class, but with a different teacher. And it's like, no problem. So that's how you make adjustments. You know, if you feel it in your gut and you just feel it in your soul and in your mind that something's not right, I'm not getting this for a reason. It may not be you. You may just have to adjust it a little bit. So don't be afraid to adjust things. Lack of support. So sometimes you might find yourself without a strong support system. This can make the journey feel lonely and challenging. I've had a couple lonely and challenging times in the past few years. Actively seek out supportive communities, whether it's through social media, like we just talked about, local groups, professional networks. Building relationships with like-minded individuals can provide the encouragement and the advice that you may need or that you ask for. I had someone that is so supportive of me, like 99% of the time. And sometimes that 1% she'll say something and it just really hits me. And it's not that she means to be mean. It's that she doesn't understand all the work that I've put in, all the time that I've taken to do what I'm doing right now. And so there'll maybe a small comment that I will take wrong. And then it really just, I feel alone and I feel like it's a challenge. So, but then, then the next day she's back to the 99.9% of the support. So it happens. People don't understand everything that you're going through when you have a dream, because it's not their dream. They have their own. Everyone has their own dreams. Everyone's putting in their own work. Everyone has different commitments and different things that they're going to do in different levels and different ways of doing things. So we also have to understand that. So we have to support each other as much as we would like them to support us, right? So build relationships with like-minded individuals so that you can have an understanding and kind of a circle of people that get it. So this will go with self-esteem. This is self-doubt. Self-doubt can undermine your confidence and make you question your abilities. Combat this with practicing self-compassion and positive self-talk. I can get through this. This is only one challenge. This is just today. Tomorrow will be better. Remind yourself of your accomplishments and strengths. Setting small achievable goals, right? They always say that small achievable goals can also help build your confidence over time. Like yesterday, I'm going to write one page. I did it. 2 days ago, I'm going to finish this one deck. I did it. 3 days ago, let's just take a look at day number 29 in this book because I'm really not liking it. I tweaked it a little bit. Done. Those are small achievable goals. Or if it's in exercise, or if it's just a self-improvement altogether. If it's exercise, dieting, crafts, a new business, something at work, career, anything. Just one small goal every day, every week, whatever you want to set. Put it on the calendar, whatever you want to do. This is also maybe a big one for some people. It's an obstacle, it's a challenge, and that's financial constraints. Pursuing dreams can often require financial resources. So it can be a significant barrier, right? Look for creative solutions to fund your projects, applying for grants, finding part-time work related to your passion, maybe budgeting and saving. So this is a good one. So, oh gosh, how long have we had the podcast? I think we're on 3.5 years now. So 3 3/4 years ago, I knew that I was going to want to buy podcast equipment. You have to buy the website. You have to buy the podcast host. You have to, maybe use some like something like Canva or something called Bazaar. That's so, when you post things, you can have some artsy craftsy stuff online, or we were going to get pictures taken, stuff like that. So I knew where was all that money going to come from, right? I had an idea. I just didn't have the resources at the time financially. So I love my coffee. I love Starbucks. I love all the local places. As soon as I see a new local coffee shop, I'm stopping in. So for 6 months, I didn't tell anybody. When I got my toxic trait is when I get into my car, my mind goes, okay, where are we getting an iced coffee today? So for 6 months before I decided to mention it to Cass that I wanted to do a podcast, I stopped going out to fast food and to get coffee to save all of the money that I would have been spending. I just kind of put it aside. Every time I thought about going to get an iced coffee, I'd put $6 aside, or I'd put $10 aside if I wanted to go to fast food. And 6 months later, I had enough money to get the equipment. And then you just go from there. So financial constraints are a thing, but if you budget correctly and you really want to make this dream happen, you can do it. You can do it. Time management is another one. That's a big one. I have spent so much time these past 3.5 years with both podcasts, with the books, with just everything that we do. When you balance your dreams with other responsibilities like work, family, big one, personal life, big one, it can be challenging. It can be an obstacle. Effective time management is key. Prioritize your tasks, create a schedule, set aside dedicated time for working on your goals, and remember, it's about progress, not perfection. Perfection's at the end if you want it. If you like I said, when you feel it's 100%, it's 100%. But work on progress. Like yesterday, we had some things to do. I was going to hang out with some friends, so I wrote 1 page in a book. And that was it. That's what I told myself. And then I took what I called a power rest. I didn't really power nap, but I took a power rest and I was good to go. I went and hung out with some friends, which is also good. Personal life, family, hung out with my husband today. We went and bought a recliner. We're hanging out. We had some coffee together. Work, always. I have a regular job Monday through Friday. So I usually work from early morning till, 5 to 5, like 12-hour days, Monday through Friday. And then after that is my time to open up my other computer, which is the podcasts or writing or anything like that. So, and I have it in my calendar. As a matter of fact, Cass, my host on this podcast, and Clopen, we have a mutual calendar that is the Clopen calendar that we put everything in so that we know when we're recording or if we're going to have a guest or if we're doing other things as well, like even personal, so that we know when we're getting together on the weekends because we are all so busy. So it's just all about throwing stuff on the calendar. Whether you like a paper calendar, one of those big ones on a desk, write it all down, or you like it in your phone or in your computer, whatever it is, put it down. Time management. So I am still a runner. I run in the morning. I write. I spend time with my husband. I spend time with my family. I have time for my friends. I work Monday through Friday, but it's all in my calendar. I'm always getting like, okay, it's time to do this. And then I will sit for a half an hour. Now, I'm not saying that every day is great. Sometimes I just don't feel like it. Sometimes I don't put, sometimes I don't put anything in there knowing that I'm probably going to be tired and I'm going to need a nap. External criticism is a big one for an obstacle. Negative feedback. I've gotten a lot. When you have 13 books out there, and you have podcasts out there, you kind of get a lot. You get a lot of negative feedback. As much as you get positive, you get some negative feedback too from others, and it can be discouraging. While constructive criticism is valuable, it's important not to let the negative comments derail your progress. I got a 1-star review on my book, and they were like, this was a waste. I don't find that my book is a 1-star. I feel like it's between a 3 and 4, but people have been very nice to give me 5 and give me fabulous comments along with their 5. I appreciate it more than I could ever express. To me, it's 3, 4, and some stories are a 5. But sometimes the negative feedback with the 1-star was like, it kind of hurt a little bit, but I developed a thick skin these past couple years. I focus on the positive feedback. I am thankful for the positive feedback. And I just use the criticism as a tool for growth rather than a setback. And, years ago, If I would have put out my books or put out the podcast and we would have gotten a 1-star review, it would have crushed me. I would have taken everything offline. I would have said, forget about it. I'm not doing this anymore. But I've learned that there are going to be people out there, and it's just getting worse. I'm just going to say it. And so I read through it, and I actually put it on my Facebook, and I said, well, it's going to take me all day to get through this. And everyone was like, this review doesn't even make sense. And I had full support. And I just remember thinking, all these people are saying it's not a 1-star book. They don't agree with this person. And it just made me feel better. Now, you don't need outside people. Like, I knew my book was not a 1-star. I just know it's not, because how can you give a 1-star to someone that's just sharing their own personal experience and trying to help others, trying to just share with others that we can relate, and here's what I did, here's a couple solutions. So I know it's not a 1-star, and I also had an editor for both books. So it's not like there's a lot of missing words or missing pages or anything like that. 1-star just means that you just basically bought a blank book. So again, external criticism, negative feedback from others can be discouraging, but you have to have that thick skin and be like, forget you. You don't mean anything. I'm just going to go look at all the positive feedback. Okay. How about burnout? Oh man, that just happened last week to me. Overworking yourself can lead to burnout, which can hinder your progress and affect your well-being. So don't let that happen. And if it does, understand that you're having it and just take a couple days off. I just had that last week. I think it was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I think I got home from work on Monday. It was 5:30, and I looked at my husband. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go lay in bed. I'm exhausted. I could not think. Now, I went to go lay in bed, and I was like, oh, I really should go work on that book. Or, oh, I should really go work on this presentation. Oh, I should really email that person back. You know what? I didn't, because I knew I was burnt out. I got up Tuesday morning. I felt so much better, and that was it. Take a mental health day if you can. We've talked about that on Clopen. We've talked about it on here. Take a mental health day. You're feeling burnt out. Sometimes you got to take a Monday or a Friday or a Wednesday. It doesn't matter. Take a day off. Make sure to take regular breaks. Practice self-care. Listen to your body's needs. Balance is crucial to sustaining long-term motivation and productivity. So there's some unforeseen circumstances too, because life gets in the way. It's unpredictable. And unforeseen events can disrupt your plans, right? Oh man, do we know that? Flexibility and adaptability are essential. I used to tell people if I didn't have bad luck, I wouldn't have any luck at all. I stopped saying that because I seem to always have bad luck. So I stopped saying that and putting it out into the universe. Have contingency plans in place and be ready to pivot when necessary. In other words, 180 it. Like, oh, I didn't realize that was going to happen. Or, oh, actually, a perfect example. When we first started the Clopen podcast, we were going to call it, Let Me Speak to Your Manager. And we just thought, man, everyone will be able to relate to that. So first, Clopen means close open. If you work retail or if you are, working hospitals or whatever, it's when you close at night and you open in the morning. That's called the Clopen. That's why we called it the Clopen effect, because it makes you a little bit loopy. What I was thinking of is Let Me Speak to Your Manager. So I went online and I'm looking, I'm like, oh, this is going to be fabulous. This is going to be amazing. And I go on there and it was either a book or a podcast with that name. And I thought, oh, shoot. Now they hadn't recorded since 2018. And I thought, well, but you know what? They had the domain, they had everything. I was like, all right, we're going to switch it. So it was an unforeseen circumstance. I had the dream. I knew what I wanted to do. And then it was like, oh no. So then we had to change it. So it happens, right? So staying resilient in the face of adversity will help you stay on track. So set your realistic goals. Seek mentorship. Seek anyone that you trust. Stay organized. That's a big one. Stay organized. Put everything in your calendar. Write everything down, whatever it is that you do. Practice mindfulness. I'm going to add some music on the back of this episode for you to just take some nice deep breaths and recenter and refocus. It's about maybe a minute or two long. Just close your eyes if you're not driving and just listen to the music and just reset yourself, especially if you've had an unforeseen circumstance this week, especially if you're burnt out. Couple deep breaths, listen to the music, and then restart. Go, run with it, and celebrate you and celebrate your milestones. Acknowledge and celebrate your achievements, no matter how small. Good luck. I'll talk to you next time.